What's up? Okay, I'm so excited. I am not even sure where I am gonna be posting this first. Probably on YouTube, maybe on a podcast, maybe on Instagram. I don't know, but I'm so excited to do this video because I'm just excited. So I am in California. I'm gonna show you the view. This isn't that big of a view, but I am in Anaheim. We just did our first ever Angel Fashion Show, Disney themed Angel Fashion Show, Angel Competition Fashion Show. And I just got back to the hotel, decompressing, and I was like, let me just get on and talk about things that I've been talking about, that I talk to clients about all the time, that I talk to myself about all the time, and compartmentalizing emotions and anxiety, not getting too far ahead of yourself, really. And you know, everybody wants to be prepared. That's the goal, right? Be prepared. That's how you're successful. You're prepared. But if you try to get too prepared, get too far ahead of yourself, you fail, right? And so I travel a lot and long times, and I've come to this. You know, Old Gracie wouldn't have been able to do this. Old Gracie being like, my first long road trip was 2022, when I did my first Angel Fashion Show, and I've done podcasts about this, because that road trip changed my life ultimately. But it was a very big step in my anxiety, to gain control of my anxiety without medication. I did not want to be on anxiety medication. I didn't want, because anxiety, and I talked about this the other day, on my story, anxiety and excitement feel exactly the same if you're not aware that they feel exactly the same. So in 2022, when I did this road trip, I had a lot of boundaries and a lot of goals for myself. One being that I wanted to take it one day at a time. Meaning I didn't know where I was staying every night. So the goal was, I just needed to be in Kansas City on the 15th of the month. And it was like the first, it was like the third. So it was 12 days total. I was going to Houston to go to the Houston rodeo with my best friend. Like, I had stops along the way. The only plan was to get to Kansas City by X date. And so part of the front was, actually I'm blending two different years. That was the first road trip. The next road trip was another long trip, but I remember very vividly. And so I learned a lot on that trip, obviously. I did a whole podcast actually on that trip. Learned a lot. On another trip, because ultimately, to grow, you got to force yourself, right? You got to force yourself out of your comfort zone in every area. So the comfort of knowing that you have a hotel, that's comfort. Not having a hotel, not having a place to stay tomorrow night, that's the boundary that's the game that I'm playing, that I play. And I played it for it was 2025, so however many years that is. And it's so much, it helps my anxiety so much in just my day-to-day life. But you know what it helps the most? Self-trust. Like, you just trust yourself. And I'll never forget, like, we did a fashion show in San Antonio Pro, and I'm pretty sure this was the year that Kara competed in the show, in the San Antonio show. And we were watching, this was before the fashion show, or maybe after the fashion show, I don't know, but I was headed to Kansas City, so we're in San Antonio, like, my next stop was Kansas City, but I was gonna have to stop somewhere between San Antonio and Kansas City. And so I was doing client check-ins on my computer, like, waiting for bikini to go on. This has been years, like 2023 maybe. And I didn't have a place to stay the next night. So I was leaving. I knew I had a place to stay that night. I was staying in San Antonio, obviously. And then I was headed to Kansas City. I didn't have a place to stay the next night. But I knew that it was going to be halfway. Or like, at least to my boundaries. This goes back, and I'm kind of, just keep following me. I have a lot of boundaries. One of my boundaries with driving is 5.5 hours is like max. So, and I only really do that when I really want to get to that destination. So like Houston would be somewhere where I drive that one day. That's like 5.5 hours from my house. And every now and then, like if I go see Isabella or if I go see Katie, they're a little bit longer than halfway to wherever I'm going, usually like Nashville. So 5.5 hours though is like my max drive time. Not because I can't, but because I don't want to. I don't want to for a lot of reasons. My physique, my body, like I can only sit for so long, right? Mentally, I can only sit for so long. I don't like to drive for a lot of, and then I gotta get my steps in, I gotta get my water in, I gotta get my food, like gotta get my training. Like I'm not willing to compromise those things. So I've come to know that 5 hours is a good boundary. So that's what is, ultimately life is about, figuring out your boundaries in all areas and then adhering to them. And then you become successful in all areas. So anyway, I was doing client check-ins on my computer, waiting for Bikini to go on. And after one of the check-ins, I was like, let me just look for where I'm going to stay and book it for tomorrow. And I looked on the map, kind of took my boundaries, 5 hours. Here is 5 hours. Like this would be about where it is. All right, now I have my location of about where I'm going. Gonna go tomorrow after I train, because again, I'm not willing to sacrifice these areas. There was like 2 places, and they were casinos, both of them. And so this was very early on. Now I've like even gotten better and more lenient, more self-trust with not needing to stay at like Airbnbs. Was my first year. Like I stayed at nothing but Airbnbs because that was where I could cook. That's where I could be 100% me there, right? Now I've gotten to where like, I can stay anywhere. But at that time, I stayed at casinos because it was safe. Obviously, there was a lot of people. I always had access to anything I needed. And more than anything, it was just safe. And traveling by myself, that's first, right? So there was like 2 casinos on the way that I was like, I like these 2. And so, but I didn't, now I've learned so much. Like when I go to book anything, I put a timer. When I do everything, I put a timer on. But I'll only look for hotels one time. So I'll look for a hotel, and I put a timer on it, 10 minutes. Look for it one time. And if I start, so at that point, this again, 2022, I was like, which one do I want to go with? And I'm looking at the price. And I remember catching myself. And I said, if you need to look at the price, girl, you need to go home. Because we're not going to sacrifice, again, our safety. So that was a boundary I drew in that moment. If you need to look at price, you need to go home. If money is an option, and not because I have a lot of money. It's just because you start to let yourself go there, you're going to start budgeting, and you're going to stay at a place where your mind is not at peace. No, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. So that was what I said. I said, is money driving this decision? And I've done a whole podcast on this too. If it is, you need to go home. That's what I told myself. And if it's not, you need to make a decision right now, because you're wasting energy away from where you're supposed to be, which is here in this moment, about to watch Kara compete. So being able to be self-trust and just be honest with yourself when you're wasting time, when you're spending too much time doing something that needs to be a decision made, not because the decision is urgent or, well, obviously I needed a place to stay tomorrow night, but more so it's just taking you out of the moment right now. So, and I'm sitting here with my friends, like, of course they're, on there doing their thing and on their social media or whatever they're doing. And that's fine. But I know that I personally don't want to be on my phone and with my friends at the same time. And that's something that I'm having to, like, even today, like, even at this, like, in this present time, finding my boundaries, right? How can I be on social and also stay present? It's very, very, very important to me. It's more important to me to stay present than it is for me to be on social and be showing wherever I am, even though that is part of my job, you know? So, like, even this video right now, I'm recording it, even though I have no one's here. I'm recording it, and I'm going to post it tonight because it is time pressing. But if my friends were here, then I wouldn't be recording it. It's not that important to me to be on social, even though that is the way that I make money, right? It's my business. It's more important for me, and that's something that I've had to come to in my life, is knowing that even though I make money, that's how I communicate with people, that's how I coach, that's how I do everything, you know, is through social media. Which one is more important to me right now? The present moment right now. And so that was a big lesson of mine. That self-talk that day. So I stayed, went to Kansas City. So all these lessons, man, like, you just learn. You learn every time. But if you don't, have enough courage to just try, just go. Just go and see what happens, and trust yourself. So trusting myself that every day I'm going to get my training, get my never miss water, never miss a step, never miss macro, never miss training, I never had to sacrifice anything, but I never had to sacrifice it because I never let myself. I never allowed myself to sacrifice my goals, my physique goals, because of what it would do to me mentally. And I've been tracking macros since 2013. I 100% know that if I don't hit my macros perfectly, we're going to be all right. We're going to still be fine. We're going to still fine as hell is what I was about to say. We're still going to have a six-pack. We're still going to get stage lean. We're still going to do all the things. We're still going to look like we want to look. Whether you take a week off or a week away. But the boundary for me, has been, what is the difference between, if you're going to travel, that's what I told myself in 2021, if you're going to travel, that's fine. But you better have some damn good boundaries, and not only boundaries and discipline. People are like, oh, you're so disciplined. No, I just got clear boundaries. I got clear boundaries, and I got clear goals, and I got clear purpose. And because of that, I have discipline. Discipline without clarity, it don't matter. You can be disciplined as hell, but what you doing? What are you being disciplined about? You know? So but that's taken me, that self-trust that has been built over, like, definitely over all my years, all my life, but with this intent, with this intention since 2021. So, like, right now I'm sitting out here, like, people asking me all day today, when are you leaving? I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow, much less when I'm leaving here. But I do know what I'm doing right now. And right now, we did this fashion show, and it went off. It could not have been more perfect, like, literally. And I do know that it's because the work that we did, definitely, obviously, with Paige and Nikki, we've been putting this together for months. But being present with the models, hyping them up, like, not being on social media, for me, being present, just the power of being present mentally, and that allows you to be there physically. And you can't be in two places at one time, right? You can't physically do it, you can't mentally do it. And so being able to, that's what to me is most important. So I was just talking to a couple of other girls, because I have to, when I'm on these long trips, I have to make sure that I am, again, ahead, but not too far ahead, right? Because that's where anxiety lives, is too far ahead. But you got to be ahead a little bit. So knowing when you need to slow down, knowing when you need to just even journal. And I do a lot of video vlogging, and there's a lot of things that I vlog about that I don't even post. I just vlog for me to get it out of my brain and get it onto video, get it onto paper. I don't do a lot of journaling, like writing, because I can't write fast enough, honestly. And so I just get on and talk. And there's some things, again, that I post. Maybe that I'll post one day, but something I just need to listen and listen to myself, and talk it out with myself. And there's a lot of things, like my dad my whole life has told me, oh Lord, has told me, you talk to me or you talk to God. You talk to me or you talk to God. And definitely over the last 6 weeks, it's been crazy. I haven't talked about it to anybody but God and my husband and my parents. But that has come, that habit of talking to me or talking to God, talking to my dad or talking to God, has come into, it's all come together for me, because it's helped me not look for anybody outside of God, my parents, and my husband to help me navigate life. And so, in other words, I have talked to myself a lot in my life. And because when you talk to God, you're talking to yourself. You're talking to yourself. You're talking to yourself through things. You're talking to Him. You're listening for Him. And again, even more powerful than that, you're just not looking for outside people to tell you what you need to do or form your opinions. You're able to make decisions for yourself. So if coming in all these trips, it's just, and I say it all the time, it's me and you, God. It's me and you, God. That's it. And that means it's you. And He's there. Of course He's there. And, when I say God, honestly, if you don't believe in God, that's not on me. You can believe in the universe, but you got to believe in something. You got to believe there's somebody and something out there. People believe in the universe, manifesting, whatever it is. That has nothing to do with, I don't care if you believe in God or not. That ain't my job here to make you believe in anything. But if you don't believe in anything, that makes for a very lonely life, because then you got to fill those places and that time and that space with things or people or habits that most likely do not align with you. And so and you could apply this, think about it. Think about all the times that especially if you aren't happy. If you're not happy with yourself, your life, your body, your job, your marriage, your anything, ask yourself, who am I coming to with these things I'm not happy with? A life coach. That's what I am. I'm a life coach. And I just happen to know a lot about macros, and a lot about nutrition, a lot about metabolism and hormones, reverse dieting and competing and bodybuilding. I just happen to know a lot about that. But if I had to label myself as what kind of coach, it would be a life coach. More of like a therapist, because everything has to align for you to live in alignment with the woman you're trying to become. So kind of all over the place, but my goal with this podcast or this blog was just to let you know that you don't have to know, and I've said it a million times on social, you don't have to know where you're going to just go. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust the decisions that you make, but that doesn't come overnight. That comes with little bitty every day. And right now, me and my husband are working on our marriage. And one thing that he is doing to build his self-trust is just setting your intentions every day. And I do this with clients every single day. Setting your intentions. And that can be the intentions of the food that you're going to eat, the workout you're going to do, the steps you're going to take, water. It could be that surface level, or it could be even deeper than that, or bigger than that, whatever it is. But you're going to set your intentions. But I want you to start out small. Just say, I'm going to wake up at Don't even do it early. Just do it like 7 o'clock. I'm going to wake up when my alarm goes off. That's perfect. That means you got to be intentional with the time that you set. And then you can't push snooze, right? Just don't push snooze. That's the intention. We're going to not push snooze. And that's a boundary of mine. And here's the game with that. I like to push snooze. So here's how I get around it. If I got to get up at 6, I'm going to set my alarm at 5:55, and then my second alarm goes off at 6. So therefore, I'm meeting myself in the middle because I like to push snooze, but I push snooze one time at 5:55, and then at 6 o'clock, I've met myself halfway, and now I got to get up, right? And it makes it so much easier rather than trying to fight myself. And that's the trick. You got to learn yourself enough to work with yourself. Kind of all over the place, but it's okay. To build that self-trust. So the self-trust to not push snooze, just do that. And then that builds every day. And eventually, and you can add to it daily, you can add to it weekly, whatever it is. But self-trust is just literally doing what you said you're going to do, no matter what that is. Like, and I have clients, when, let's just say we're going on vacation, or like, we're going to a holiday event or anything, and I have them set their intentions. And because we live the 80-20 balance, right? So we're not gonna go into a holiday event and expect perfection, because we're not. That's silly. We're not gonna enjoy that at all, mentally, physically, emotionally, nothing. So we set our intentions, and I'll tell them, if you want to drink a fifth of Fireball, set that intention. And so that when you come back to me tomorrow and we're reflecting, because that's what you do, you set the intention, then you reflect. How did you do? Where did you go right? Where did you go wrong? And then you are able to be proactive moving forward, change things moving forward, whatever it is. But if you want to drink a fifth of Fireball, I want you to just say it. And then when you come back and you did it, you're going to be proud as hell, because you did it. You did exactly what you're going to do. And then if you didn't do it, if you took 2 shots and you was like, all right, I'm good, you're going to be even more proud because you didn't do it. You didn't drink that fifth, whereas you used to, right? That's just an extreme example, but that's something that I do. Like, that's something that I've done. And it's helped me. I used to drink a lot. I don't know if you've been around me for a long time, but I used to drink a lot. And so when I stopped saying, I'm going to not drink ever, like, you could say that, but that's what causes people to fall off everything. I'm never going to eat carbs again. I'm always, so one girl today was like, trying to do the carnivore diet. Why? Like, why would you want to do that? Because it's easy. That's why. Because it's easy. And that's fine. You can do it for right now. But there will be a day where you're not going to do that, because it's not realistic, right? It's not sustainable. So when you're setting these intentions, just set them and say, and you could say, like, I'm never going to drink alcohol again. And know that one day you're probably going to, and that's okay. But it's just not today, right? So, again, I'm like all over the place. But self-trust is literally the key to freedom mentally, your anxiety, 100%, and freedom to become who you are supposed to become. If I didn't trust myself, I wouldn't be here. If I didn't trust myself, then I'm going to do all the things that I'm supposed to do. I'm going to get the things done that I need to do before I do the things that I want to do every day, whether I'm on the road or at home. It's the same. If I did not have built that, then I would not be where I am today in my career as a competitor, in my business as a coach, in my life, in my marriage, in my life. And so self-trust, let that be your number one focus. And you can do that a lot of ways. That will give you the freedom that you don't even know you need. But that will help you start to get into alignment with the person that you're supposed to be. The woman, I'll only coach women, so I only speak to women. And I was just talking to 3 women, and I'm the last thing I say about this, but I was just talking to 3 girls from the fashion show, and alignment is, so here's a red flag if you are not in alignment with the woman you are supposed to be. If you have 2 different personalities, if you can say, like, this is Gracie, when I, let's just say, binge eat, that's Rachel. If you can say that, or you can say, like, I'm Gracie, and then my anxiety, when my anxiety kicks in, that's Rachel. If you have 2 different personalities, that's a red flag that you are not living in alignment with yourself, with the woman that you want to be. So I have a worksheet. Actually, it's in my G4 community. It's a free resource. It's called The Woman I Want to Be. And it's a worksheet, and it comes with 2 podcasts that I made about how I became the woman I am today by bringing awareness to the woman I don't want to be. But in this worksheet, it asks questions that make it crystal clear who you want to be, what does she look like, what does she smell like, when does she wake up, what kind of makeup does she wear, what kind of earrings does she wear. Like, I want you to describe her perfectly. This is the perfect woman that you want to be. Who does she hang out with? What time does she wake up? What time does she go to bed? What does she do every day? What does she do on her downtime? Like, describe her completely. And when you describe her, you're able to, your decisions then are very clear, because let's just say she wears makeup. Not a lot. We just wear a little bit of eye makeup. What she doesn't do, she doesn't push snooze and doesn't rush out of the house because she can't put makeup on a little bit if she's rushed, right? So the decisions, when you get that clarity of who you want to be, become very simple, because she just doesn't do that, because she can't do that. She can't do that and look like she wants to look, right? So alignment is, so again, the red flag of you're not living in alignment with who you want to be is that you have these 2 different personalities, and you can identify them. And if you can identify them, great. That's okay. Perfect. Identify them. Identify what this other girl is, Rachel. Why does she take over? What does she take over, right? When does she take over? That's when you lose control. When Rachel takes over. So, okay, what are these triggers? Let's address these triggers, because ultimately we want to have one person. You want to be one woman, not 2, 1. And when you identify, okay, I have Gracie and I have Rachel. What is Rachel? When does she take over? Let's start controlling and changing these things one at a time. Not all of them. We ain't gonna change all at one time. I didn't become Gracie Record 100% overnight. It took me 37 years to be 37 years old, right? So just know that self-trust, like the red flag of the not in alignment, would be your first step to becoming the woman that you want to be. And how she looks, like the woman that you want to look like, all of that comes in together when you start down this journey of alignment. I mean, like, that's the best way to put it. And I hope that this made sense. It was really I just wanted to talk about the things I just finished talking to all these girls about, because it's crazy how, like, in 2021, when I've decided, and I've done a podcast about this too, when God decided that you're now going to compete in bikini, you are now going to coach way deeper than surface level. Like, even though I've always been metabolic and hormonally focused with women, we're about to get real deep. And you're going to compete in bikini. And this decision, it was out of my control. Everything. And ever since then, ever since I let go and let God just tell me what to do, it's just like I wake up And I don't like to say that it's given to me because I work my butt off for it, but it's not hard. It's just, I wake up and I work out and I eat, like I track my macros and I drink my water and I do the things that align with the woman that I'm trying to become. And everything is just laid out for me. But I had to get crystal clear on, not only, I say that, I had to get crystal clear on the woman I didn't want to be. That was what I had to get crystal clear on. I didn't want to be, and I did 2 podcasts on this. Because you don't know the woman you want to be. Otherwise, you'd be there. You'd be her. But you damn sure know who you don't want to be. And so start there. Start there. I guess step 1 would be identify, do you have 2 personalities? Do you have these 2? And it could not be, it don't have to be extreme, but it can be, this is Rachel and I am Gracie, right? That's your red flag. All right, what is Rachel doing? How can I not have her? How can I slowly eliminate her to get to where I'm one person? And yeah, my brain's kind of like going everywhere right now. Or like it's not really going everywhere. It's kind of going nowhere. It's like really tired. But the journey of, and it does start with your physical journey. You know, your journey towards alignment starts with your physical journey, because you have to love your body, be working on your body every day. And through that, you're going to work on your mind every day. And then everything starts to fall into place. And, you know, this fashion show is the perfect example of that, to be honest with you. I mean, it's, you know, this has been a dream of ours for a long time. And I know that one day it's going to be its own show in its own theater where people can buy tickets to this fashion show, and there's going to be entertainment, and there's going to be, like, that's the dream. And because the confidence that these girls have, the way that they can express themselves, and this is part of their alignment, right? Like, every single one of them, the reason they chose this princess or this villain even is because this is their alter ego, or this is their way of expressing a different part of them, right? So at that point, okay, how can I take this part? So one of the girls that sticks out a lot to me, it was a girl that said, I normally am like a big tomboy, and this made me not be. I had to like do my makeup, do my hair, and it wasn't, she didn't do her makeup and hair in this extreme way. It was just more than what she normally does. And that is a step towards becoming that next level woman. So that is what this fashion show is about. And so to take a character that you resonate with for whatever reason, it could be childhood, it could be whatever it is, and blend it with the woman you are today. Now she knows she can do her hair, she can do her makeup, and she can feel that confidence, even if it's a little bit more than what it was, you know. So the theme that was really big. So a lot of our fashion shows, the girls do themes, but this was like a main theme of Disney. And I know that this is going to be the first, oh, I thought that was a frog. I'm so scared of frogs. It's a bird. This is going to be the first of many, many Disney fashion shows. And I know that it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger because it's rooted so deep in their hearts. And if you are Disney, you know what I'm talking about. And I just feel like this weekend, a lot of women stepped even closer to the woman that they're trying to become through this event, honestly. And I don't know, it's just like, my purpose is very clear in this world, and it's to help women not just build confidence, but know who they are, know where they're going, know how they're going to get there, and trust themselves to get there. And yeah, I'm proud. I'm proud of us. I'm proud of every girl that got on stage today. Their stories, like their purpose, their reason, the creativity, all of it. I just am so proud of them. It's because it's hard. It's hard to get on stage half naked. You know what I mean? But they did. And they did it with grace. They did it with integrity. And they did it with pride. And they did it with honor and just confidence. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I just needed a place to talk today. So thanks for listening. And yeah. So tomorrow we're going to go back to the Fit Expo. I'm really excited. We have just getting connections, and that's the only goal really for me for tomorrow, is to get connections to help build our, so when I went, and I did that a lot today before the fashion show, went and connected with other companies, told them about the fashion show, and they all want to support us. And I'm so excited because people love to support purpose and intention. And so going and asking for donations and free things, when you have such clear purpose and intention, is easy, because they're yeah, hell yeah, I'll support women, or and I guess it would be the same if it was men too, but we don't do that. Hell yeah, I'll support that. What do you want? Take it. Yeah, it's really cool. I'm just so excited. so excited. Oh man. So tomorrow, yeah, Expo. And then on Monday, we're going to Disney with all the girls. I mean, not all of them will be able to come. I don't think all of them are coming. But the community that we're building, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. The community that we've already built is amazing. Literally. I was talking to the lady that owns White Rabbit Energy, maybe. Hope that's right. And she was just yeah, so she's a woman, entrepreneur. Heidi Summers is another one that Buff Money, just powerhouse, right? I'm just so happy to be part of this women's movement of confidence and empowerment. And geez, it's just been and we're just getting started, you know what I mean? So it's I don't know. So I'm gonna go inside and just chill. I just needed a place to come out and take a fresh air and peace in my mind, and go rest, recharge, and Disney. And then we'll fly back to Nashville on Tuesday. Nashville Fit Show, Fashion Show is on Friday. Nashville Fit Show is on Saturday. We're trying to get that's another one that we want to build big time, because who doesn't want to go to Nashville? We're having to dodge a couple things with having to dodge a couple things, so we're gonna have to make that our own thing too. But we're all there, so that's, yeah, it's just all coming together. It's crazy whenever you look back and you're all these things, all these dreams that you're dreaming, sometimes can feel like just dreams. But if you get clear and you have the right people in the right places, and the wrong people not in the right place, that's the biggest thing. You can have the right people in the right places, and if you have the wrong people there too, then you're holding yourself back. But yeah, so that's it for today. Sorry it was taking so long, but just very, very proud of myself, of every person today, of all my ACB people, all my clients, proud of them. Y'all have a great night.